Great to have you back with me. Today, I will cook another Italian favorite. It certainly is one of mine. My mother cooked this for me all the time when I was growing up. She still cooks it for me when I drive upstate to see her. Apparently, I'm still growing up. Pasta piselli, or pasta with peas. Now, I made the choice to stick with an authentic recipe using pancetta. However, my mother and other Americanized Italians will use bacon instead of pancetta. I'll tell you my opinion of the difference at the end of this video. Either way, this is a very simple yet very delicious meal. So let's get started. I'm Rich Crankshaw, and you are cooking with Crank. Here's what you'll need for this pasta piselli. I was gonna do a sauté for this video, enough for just one person, but this dish is like a pasta fagioli. It's meant to serve the whole family, and perhaps the neighbors. And believe it or not everything Italians cook have garlic and tomatoes in it, even though they should. However, in your kitchen, you can add the garlic and tomatoes if you want. Fresh parsley is also optional, but the extra virgin olive oil is not optional. 1 whole yellow onion. You can use a Spanish onion or a Vidalia. For the pasta, shells is where it's at for this dish. I'm using orecchiette instead. Here I have 1 pound pancetta from the Italian deli. I'll only use half, and if you don't have access to an authentic Italian deli, don't use packaged, already cubed pancetta. Use the bacon instead. Just saying. Parmigiano Reggiano, that I will shred myself. Avoid buying already shredded or grated cheese loaded with preservatives. Just saying. Salt and pepper, but the salt use sparingly, if at all. The pancetta and Parmigiano offer an amazing salty taste. Don't use canned peas. Use frozen peas. Preparation is everything. Let's get started. For me, the parsley is first. Rinse it good, pat it dry, then remove the stems. Parsley stems are very bitter, not like cilantro. The stems are the best part. Once the stems are removed, chop it fine. When you think it's fine enough, keep chopping. No matter how dry parsley is when you begin chopping, it releases moisture while you are chopping, so when you're finished, place the chopped parsley between paper towels and set it aside. Next, finely chop the yellow onion. Okay, now the pancetta. Like I said, I'm only using half a pound here. Cube the pancetta into small bite-sized pieces. Now, shred that amazing Parmigiano Reggiano. I don't have a measurement for you here. The more the merrier, as they say. But if I were to guess, this is about 3/4 of a cup. And guess what? The mise en place is done, and so is the preparation. Now, we have no choice but to get this incredible pasta piselli underway. I'm using my awesome Dutch oven for this. Use a 6 to 8 quart stock pot if you don't have an enameled cast iron Dutch oven like this one. Put the pot on the burner and add about 1 to 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. Here is one step to consider if you're using bacon instead of pancetta. Honestly, with the bacon, you may not need the oil, or if you do, use 1 tablespoon or less, but here I'm using the pancetta. Once the oil is hot, toss in that cubed pancetta. Stir it around for a couple of minutes, then add the chopped onion. I'm going to add some fresh pepper here. No salt, just pepper. Keep this moving and saute until the onions begin to sweat. Hey, give the onions a break, man. You'd sweat too if you knew you were about to be eaten. I think maybe I've said that joke before. Okay. Now, add the frozen peas. I'm using both bags for this. I mean, seriously, it has peas in the title, so add those peas, man. Add some more pepper, still no salt. Keep it all moving until the peas start to show that they are thawed. Now add the 5 cups of water. And here, again, is a step that is optional. In fact, as a restaurant guy, I'm always nervous about adding the pasta directly to a dish like this. It will almost always be a much better result to pre-cook the pasta al dente, separate from the main dish, then add it at the end. You certainly can do it that way here, though. That is actually how my mother prepares this. But you end up using pasta water to help with the sauce at the end, So many recipes will say to, well, just cook the pasta in the dish. And as the pasta cooks, the water will reduce, and you want all that starch to help give you a nice creamy sauce. Bring this to a boil and add the pasta. Most recipes call for either small shells or ditalini. I saw the orecchiette on the shelf and decided to use that instead of shells. I mean, they look like shells, but honestly, I think they look more like little World War I helmets. Maybe it's just me. Once this comes to a boil, lower the heat a little and keep stirring every couple of minutes. At this point, this will only take 10 to 15 minutes to finish. When the pasta is cooked and much of the water has evaporated, it's time to finish this. But first, give it a taste for salt. For me, I'm still not going to add salt. It really doesn't need it. But it needs the cheese, man. It's asking for cheese. Stir in the Parmigiano Reggiano and give it another taste. Why not? Still no salt, but I will add some fresh ground pepper and fresh parsley. And guess what, folks? This bad boy is in the books and about to be in my belly. Garnish with some fresh parsley and more fresh ground pepper. Still no salt. And then eat it. All of it. Share it with your friends and family and then fall asleep on the couch. You deserve it. Hey, don't forget to add more Parmigiano Reggiano to the plate at the end. I forgot to on camera, but I added it after I shut everything down. Then I ate it. It was amazing. Now, I told you I'd give you my opinion of the difference between using pancetta and using bacon instead. I'll say this was delicious, but my mother's is better. Partly because of the bacon, I think it is a much stronger, smokier flavor. Plus, the fact that it's my mom cooking it. It will always be better than anything I can cook. So give this a try. You're gonna love it. Pasta Peselli in my belly. Thanks for hanging out. I'm Rich Crankshaw, and you are cooking with Crank.